Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I'm your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. 30-year-old Julius DeBeek of Fitzhughes was arrested and charged by police with the offense of possession of an unlawful firearm without a license issued under the Firearms Act. According to an official release, the offense was allegedly committed at Fitzhughes at about 9 p.m. on the 28th of December 2022. DeBeek appeared at the Serious Offences Court on March 20th to answer the charge, which he pleaded not guilty and was placed on a $7,000 bail with one surety. The court ordered him to have no contact with the complainant and to surrender all travel documents. Stop notices were also placed at all ports. The matter was adjourned to March 29th, 2023. President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, has disclosed that closing down the entire public service will be among the union's future initiatives. According to St. Vincent Times, Robinson told the media on Monday that the government needs to desist from pursuing any appeal concerning the judgment handed down on Monday, 13th March by Judge Esco Henry. The vaccine mandate was ruled as unconstitutional, procedurally improper, and contrary to the principles of natural justice. Robinson said that the school system still lacks sufficient quality instructors, highlighting that 100 children failed to get a simple pass in the CXC exams because the government made it difficult for teachers to obtain employment. Among the other events planned, he added, is a church service during which they hope to return to the Creator to express thanks and praise for the triumph and to anticipate his direction in the future. Still on the local scene, Minister of Health to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Honorable St. Clair Prince, said that there are too many chronic non-communicable diseases, NCDs, cases in the country, and it was time that Vincentians took stock on their health. During the opening of the Georgetown Smart Health Center on March 20th, the minister stated that the Ministry of Health will be doing its part with heavy focus on NCDs for 2023. However, Prince encouraged regular checkups and screening, healthy eating, exercise, and the promotion of this behavior from an early age. He also disclosed that the NM's Health Center will be converted into a wellness center that caters particularly to the prevention and treatment of NCDs. Other initiatives by the government include the improvement of access to primary healthcare services, improvement on the existing health services, decentralization of laboratory and radiology services, dialysis, chemotherapy, mammogram services, ongoing rehabilitation of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, and soon MRI services. Onto the regional scene, the World Health Organization, WHO, last week said that no less than 55 countries are struggling with serious health worker shortages as they continue to seek better paid opportunities in wealthier nations that have stepped up efforts to recruit them during the COVID-19 pandemic. In reference to the UN agency, African nations have been hit worse by the phenomenon, with 37 countries on the continent facing health worker shortages that threaten their chances of achieving universal health care by 2030. In efforts to help countries protect their vulnerable healthcare systems, the WHO has issued an updated health workforce support and safeguards list, which highlights nations with low numbers of qualified healthcare staff. Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, said that health workers are the backbone of every health system, and yet 55 countries with some of the world's most fragile health systems do not have enough, and many are losing their health workers to international migration. Still on the regional scene, a Westmoreland resident who has been described by law authority as a known violence producer was shot dead in Westmoreland, Jamaica on Tuesday evening. The deceased was identified as 31-year-old farmer and barber Jovel Gaga Adiman, who was reportedly killed while riding a motorcycle. Reports from the Jamaica Observer state that about 6 p.m. on Tuesday, Adiman was home with his family when a friend visited him on a motorcycle which he borrowed and rode to a bar nearby. Police said Adiman left the bar and was returning home when another motorcycle with two men drove up behind him and opened gunfire. The pillion, the police said, then came off the motorcycle and continued to fire several shots, hitting Adiman multiple times in his head and face. The police were called and found Adiman lying motionless. He was subsequently transported to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. On the international scene, the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, has given a defiant defense of his decision to work through an increase in pension age during protests across France and two no-confidence votes. He said, "This reform isn't a luxury, it's not a pleasure, it is a necessity." The government's use of constitutional power to ram through reforms without a vote in the National Assembly has given courage to many protesters. A ninth round of strikes and national protests are expected to take place on Thursday, 23rd March 2023. There have been 6 nights of demonstrations involving hundreds of arrests in a number of cities. The French president said protesters had a right to take to the streets and their anger had been taken into account, but it was not acceptable when they resorted to violence without any rules whatsoever. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.